I honestly believe that most people in this country will see the performance of Taoiseach Simon Harris after he left the meeting in Washington with Joe Biden yesterday as woeful, pitiful and feeble, because anyone who'd be given an opportunity to say to Joe Biden, stop arming Israel, would use it. Emmanuel Macron has, and what is the problem with our Taoiseach not doing so? And this morning, the Kamal Adwan hospital in northern Gaza has been ordered by the Israelis to evacuate, and no doubt they can order and threaten that by use of the munitions that are supplied by the US and flown over our airspace. Back in April, you told me to stop muddying the waters when I questioned you on this, and I'm asking you now to clarify the waters. Are we still allowing flights over sovereign Irish territory carrying munitions to Israel? And what are we going to do to intervene about it? Because I know your favourite publication, The Ditch, has said that again this week, more flights have gone over our sovereign space from the US to Israel carrying munitions. Can you give clarity on this? And when, if not today, can you tell us what you're actually going to do to stop it happening?
Can I just say before you come in, Taoiseach, that the second deputy to criticise the Taoiseach. The Taoiseach will be here next week, I suspect. Yes, yeah. And if members have matters to confront him with, you are more than welcome to do so then. I think it would be much better to voice that criticism to him directly than to ask somebody else to answer for his actions. Taoiseach.
Thank you. And I just want to, I just want to make the point generally that President Biden was of some assistance to Ireland in respect to the Brexit situation and in the Good Friday Agreement and supporting the Good Friday Agreement all his life, but particularly during the Brexit. And I think we were anxious to commemorate 100 years of diplomatic relations between the US and Ireland. That's a good thing. I'm not anti-US generally. The deputy may be, but I'm not. And I think there's the world. No, that said, I oppose what's happening in the Middle East. I don't believe the US should be arming Israel, given the nature of warfare that Israel is carrying out in terms of the killing and destruction of civilian infrastructure and the innocents, children, men and women. We don't allow people to fly through airspace with weaponry. We have a legal framework. There's a Chicago Convention which countries and which companies are obliged to uphold. We don't have fighter jets. We don't have planes in the sky monitoring every plane that flies through. And I think there's an impracticable sort of proposition implied in your question, that somehow we can physically enter the skies and sort of, by divine inspiration, sort of... But it is clearly, because we can't physically, we can't physically, I think... No, yeah, the Minister Eamon Ryan and the Department of Transport are responsible for that area because it's civilian overfly. Basically, as you know, if someone wants to fly weaponry over or through Irish sovereign airspace, they must seek permission. And if they don't, and if they don't, they're then violating our legal framework. And the Minister, in the first instance, the Department is trying to ascertain from the Belgian government and from the company involved the full details in relation to this, and then deal with the company subsequently.
Deputy Johnny Myden, please. Deputy Johnny Myden.
Thank you, Taoiseach, I was contacted last night by some concerned staff at Wexford General Hospital. They were told by a senior member of staff that their seasonal flu vaccines and COVID vaccines were not being provided to them in their workplace due to a funding issue. As you know, this is a preventive measure for the health and safety of workers who are at high risk. It also limits the rate of absenteeism. I would ask the Taoiseach if he would raise this issue, this health and safety issue, with the appropriate authorities and provide required funding if necessary, and to verify if this is the case from August.
Taoiseach.
I'll follow that up, Deputy. My understanding, well, I'll talk to the Minister for Health in relation to that. That's both the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine to healthcare workers. Okay, I'll follow that up. Yeah.